Can you introduce yourself?
And like, what should I say?
You can say anything.
Anything? Oh, I always hate this question. Hi, my name is Ria. I'm currently a foreigner, living in South Korea, but I'm actually Korean American, and I am 26 years old and currently teaching English in South Korea. Originally, I was pre-med in college, and I was intending to go to medical school after graduation. That didn't work out, and so I was looking for a way to kind of have a gap year to either figure out what I was going to do next or just to like keep trying to apply to medical school. But I ended up here, and it turned into now going on 5 years of living in Korea. I love it here, and I'll probably stay here forever. So growing up, I was pretty like, I don't know. I feel like at school I was like the model student, but then at home it's like, because I feel like I wasn't getting enough attention. My mom would like tell me all the time, like later, she was like, ugh, you were always such a trouble, because like I would get so bored at home, like having nothing to do. And but in school, like I had really good grades. I was really social. I think in middle school though, I had an emo phase that like a lot of people had, but mine was like I think a little bit more severe. And I think I wanted to like get attention, which is why I would like say or like do things that would like shock people. But other than that, yeah, like high school, I was a great student. I was NHS president, like student body president, drum major, so just like a pretty normal role model kid looking from the outside in. Yeah. Yeah, growing up Korean American, I always knew that like there was a difference between me and other kids, especially growing up in like a suburb in Texas. There was not a lot of Asian Americans. There were like a handful of us, but even still, like, just experiences that like pretty much every Asian American has, like people messing up your name because it's not English, or people like, teasing you about like the food you bring to school, or, people like making fun of your eyes, or, things like that. It's just some of the things that happened. But, overall, I think it was a unique experience, and I'm glad I had it just because it made me appreciate like my Korean culture more, I think, when I got to Korea. Because like when I got to Korea, it was like, oh wow, like nobody's staring at me, or is this what white people feel like in America? It's like, or it's like, it was nice to be the majority here, and I think I wouldn't have appreciated that as much if I like didn't have the experience that I had back in America growing up. I guess I will say I really, really miss my friends. Cause like I think in living in Korea, it's like been hard to make really, really close friends, just because people are always leaving to go back to America or wherever they came from, and or they're moving away to bigger cities. Like a lot of my friends moved to Seoul or to Busan or things like that. And even though we're in the same country, it's like nobody can be bothered to like travel every weekend to see their friends. So yeah, definitely miss my friends from America. I feel like I've missed out on a lot, like especially like weddings and stuff. When some of my friends recently had a wedding that I missed out on because I was here, and just big things like my friends getting houses and things like that. But other than friends, I would say some of the food I miss, like Texas barbecue and good breakfast tacos. I miss those, but yeah. So my first year adjusting to Korea, it was up and down, up and down, up and down, because it was my first time like living completely by myself, and also, I don't know, I feel like I had a little bit of an easier time just because I am Korean American, so I kind of knew the culture and I knew the language, you know, all the basic things, but it was also really difficult because I was definitely like not Korean in the eyes of like the native Korean people here. So adjusting to social things and learning the language more was really difficult. So in the beginning, well, in college, like I took one Korean language course just because like I was like, can't speak my native language. So I was kind of ashamed of that. And so, but I got here and it was like, it was not enough because I never really practiced speaking that much. So I could like listen and understand for the most part, definitely not complicated things, but you know, just daily conversation stuff I could pick up. But definitely when I first came here, like, oh my gosh, my pronunciation was so bad, my grammar was horrible. People thought I was like Chinese. But then I think now I'm at a point where like people like at least for the first couple conversations, they can't really tell that I'm from America. It's only when we start like really talking and getting to know each other that they're like, oh, you kind of have an accent, or or they're like, oh, did you live abroad? But I can definitely like, you know, have conversations, and I speak to my boyfriend like all in Korean, so yeah. So I did Epic for 2 years, and honestly, my school was really great. I didn't really have any problems with the students. All my co-teachers were super nice and super helpful. I think though I wasn't really challenged in my job, I felt like a lot of the things I was doing was just to fill time. And even though, you know, the vacation was great, I got to travel a lot. I don't know, I kind of wanted to be a little bit more challenged. So after my 2 years of Epic, I went to a Hagwon, which is what I'm doing now. I love living in Daejeon because it is so peaceful and quiet here. I know for some people that can be really like, oh, it's so boring, or there's nothing to do here, but I kind of like that. And there's really no tourists that come here because they're, you know, it is no fun Daejeon, no gem Daejeon, but for me, like I kind of like that. It's like it feels like it's like my city. It's not, you know, just a tourist city that people come and go into. I know like my whole city, and I know like how to navigate through it. There's a lot of nature around Daejeon, which is really nice. Good food is here too. So yeah, it's a good city without feeling like you're in a big city. Yeah, so actually I took like a really long hiatus. I think it's been like a year now since my last video, which I feel really bad to my subscribers because like every so often like someone will comment on one of my older videos and it's like, man, I should really, you know, make videos again, but I've just been so busy. But in the future, I think I'm gonna start uploading more videos now because I have more time. And I just really want to, you know, make more educational things for people, kind of like debunk some of the curly hair myths, because on the internet there's so many different ideas, so many different beliefs about curly hair. And even within like the curly hair community, it's like everyone has a different opinion. And I find that a lot of like influencers don't really know as much as they think they do. And I've started to realize more now after getting my hairstylist license. It's like there's truth behind and there's like science behind everything. And yeah, I just want to like inform people about, you know, what's actually true and what are some things that they don't really need to necessarily worry about. So yeah, that's my plan for my YouTube. Hopefully in the future, I don't know, I'll probably start working more towards my hair business and more towards like actually like getting, you know, more clients and stuff. But for now, I think I'm just gonna focus more on like YouTube things, and then in the future, probably expand to like a physical salon. And I think also I wanna, like, my goal towards the end, it's like I really want to like give education for curly hairstylists in Korea. A lot of hairstylists that I see in Korea, they don't really have a lot of education with that. Like, of course, like every hairstylist like knows the basics, but curly hair care is so much more specific. And I've taken a lot of online trainings as well through for specifically like curly hair, like cutting and styling and all of that. And yeah, it's a lot to kind of invest in. So definitely I want to be able to like provide that more so for other stylists in Korea. But that's going to be years and years and years from now. Oh.
Where do you want to see yourself?
So I would be like 40 something. Well, just goals, yeah. I don't know, 20 years from now, I would definitely would like my own house in Korea. Those are very expensive, but yeah, I would love to have a house of my own. I have a car right now actually, but it's kind of very old and just like a used car, so I would love to have, you know, like a nicer, maybe electric car, and then have my own salon. And then in addition to my salon, I would love to have like my own, not like academy even just like holding my own classes in existing hair academies in Korea. I think that would be really cool. And I would love to have actually my own online course as well, because nowadays a lot of creators on the internet, like, it's all about the online courses. So I would love to have my own online course for consumers as well as like professionals in the curly hair industry. Yay! Yay!